Ready to rock? All right, this is December 15th meeting of the Lunenburg Water Commissioners. This meeting being recorded for rebroadcast over Lunenburg Public Access. So we'll review and sign the warrants. Second agenda, I'd accept a motion to approve the minutes of November 17th and December 1st. So November 17th was the special meeting and the December 1st meeting. So was it December 1st, the executive session?
Nope, November 17th was regular meeting.
Yeah.
And then executive.
The special.
Okay.
I'm sorry, yes, the
The
special.
regular and the special on the 17th.
Sorry. Regular meeting, special meeting the 17th, executive session December 1st.
Okay, so we're gonna take these one at a time because Mr. Woodward wasn't a member of the board on the 17th, so I'd accept a motion to approve the minutes of November 17th, 2021.
That's not me.
All right, I make a motion that we approve the minutes of November 17th,
Okay,
2021.
all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. I accept a motion to approve the minutes of December 1st executive session.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of December 21st,
December 1st?
December 1st.
Okay.
Executive session.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Review and vote to sign legal service agreement with Rodman, and Sandman for PFAS liability litigation.
Okay, so
We've discussed this.
she has the agreement there, but
Yep.
so there's 3 firms out there that are trying to do actions against the chemical companies, like DuPont, stuff like that.
Mhm.
And these people, we were the most comfortable with. We used this company attorneys for the MTB settlement, and we did very well with it. So we talked to some people, and they felt the same way.
Okay.
The other options that were out there were tied to other people. So I think whatever the share was that we were going to get was going to be taking pieces out for other people. And they worked excellent for us the last time. So
Okay. And just for everybody in general, PFAS is, comes from products like Teflon and
yes, they call them forever chemicals.
Forever
yes.
chemicals.
They don't get sucked by soils, and they pass everywhere.
our levels currently are below any standard.
Yes, but because we do have levels, we except for the Hickory Hills well, that one's exceeded. So the maximum contaminant level was 20. Hickory Hills well was 35. So I've already talked to people about getting funding for grants to treat that.
Okay.
So, but the other wells are below that level. There is, who knows what the future will be. Maybe they'll lower that number again to some other number that. So we don't know. But anyway, because we have detects, I think there's only well number 4 is the only well that has no detect. All the other wells have moderate, mild, slight defects.
Yep.
No health concerns with it. But because it's there, we are impacted, and we have rights to legal action. So companies.
Okay.
So it's basically, what they had sent was just the legal form of going over everything. There is no cost to us, which was one of the firms that we had talked to mentioned something to Fran about a retainer, which was kind of weird because none of the other firms were looking for it. So that was another reason why we had talked about that. So it's basically just a formal, if you guys want to look at it, a legal service agreement just basically stating that we're hiring them to look into PFAS, to join into everything. There's no cost to us. I believe the last page it says their fees was 1/3. I think it says something like that. So they just needed either the board to sign off on it or for you to vote for Fran to sign
Or if
off.
you guys want to review it, we can
Yeah.
postpone it to another meeting.
Has our council reviewed this?
I didn't because they were one of the other ones that was putting together a PFAS litigation team. They were a part of it, but that was the guy that they have heading it was the one who you spoke to, and he's the one who talked about wanting a retainer and wanting other things, and that's what kind of turned us off from it. So I did not forward that to KP because.
But we could, because they're our counsel, so they will review that, and we could have them review.
Yeah, I agree on your whole thought process of we've used this firm in the past. So I agree with everything, and I actually think it's a good idea that it's a separate firm from our council that's handling this.
Okay.
But that's just me.
All right, so we can hold off on that, we'll have them review it?
Well, we can, if everybody wants, I mean, somebody can move to sign this pending our council's review, or have authorize you to sign it pending our council's review, because you signed the last one? Or did the commissioner sign
That was a
it?
couple of years ago.
That was,
So maybe even that, it might be worth going to council, and then they'll tell us whether we gotta sign it or we can authorize you to sign it.
I believe, obviously, our council would be the one to get the answer from, but I believe the one I've been speaking with, because she knew we had worked with them before, had said, I thought she had said that it was you, that she had worked with last time.
2008.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it signed.
Yeah.
But we could move to authorize you to sign it pending, legal counsel's review, and if they feel that you shouldn't be the one signing it, then it comes back, it gets bounced back.
Okay.
If
All
anybody
right, so
has
she
any,
puts it in the minutes, then.
yeah, anybody have any issues with
No,
that? Or a motion to that effect? Anybody want to make a motion to that effect?
All right, I'll make a motion that, what's that, Sandman? Is that the?
Rodman, and Sandman.
Yeah. It would,
That we have Rodman, and Sandman, review. What is it, that P what?
PFAS
PFAS.
liability
Right,
litigation,
litigation,
authorize Fran to sign it.
yep,
pending legal counsel.
counsel review.
that's close enough.
Yep. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Review vote for installation of new retention rails on garage and office roof.
So Terry kind of took the reins on doing this. You guys saw which one, the Poolin one last time?
No.
Red Dog.
Oh, Red Dog, I'm sorry, okay. So he called Poolin and Rockwell Roofing. So this is Poolin's, proposal is much higher, because what was Red Dog's, 11?
It was 8, almost 9.
8 or 9, yeah.
Yeah, because they gave us 3 different,
Yeah, one was for one section, one was for the other, and then one was for both.
yeah.
So I think it was like almost
Compensation, this
9,000.
one must be,
So that's, everything is the 13.8 on this?
yes.
Okay.
So, why? Completion 871, did they have? Maybe, no. So anyways, the Red Dog Roofing seems to be the lowest one. He did talk to Poolin, who said he talked to him today.
Rockwell.
Sorry. Rockwell. He talked to him today, and he still couldn't get him a price ready for tonight because he was waiting for prices from somebody else. But Terry wanted me to express to you guys that in him talking with Rockwell, he has a very strong feeling that it's probably going to come in the highest, even above Poolin's. He said, so I don't know if you guys, same thing, wanted to, if these are prices are what you want to go with, if you wanted to hire the Red Dog Roofing as the lowest bidder, pending that Rockwell's comes in higher than Red Dog's.
Okay, so this is the 8554 is his total, I believe. And then you have 2 separate bids of 2742 and 7345. So this would be like phase 1, phase 2.
I think so, the
Yeah,
garage and
one
the
was the
office.
office, one was the garage.
And then this
one
one's
was
both.
together.
Yeah, and it wasn't a lot more to do both.
Okay.
You know, I can't believe the prices these guys want to do that little job.
Are we apples to apples here? Are we the same linear feet?
I believe so.
Me too.
I know Terry was trying to let them know exactly what
Did they specify
Then they
that?
What they were, is they
Then
also
they go,
talked about,
Where did I read this?
double lines or something like that. One of them specified it, and I think I read it in both.
Can't find it, no.
Well, we get 310 linear feet over the garages, it looks
Yeah,
like.
this is what I like right here. Is that 260, 350? What is that?
It's
Yeah, I think
approximately.
he told them, I know when, I think he had looked at Poolins, because that was the original from Stan Tech, with them going through, right? No,
I'm sorry, no,
Red Dog.
Red Dog.
So Red Dogs was the original, so I believe when Terry was talking to Poulin and Rockwell, he was letting them know the
What Red
basic
Dog.
idea of what Stan Tech had presented.
And Rockwell said they would get us a proposal by
He
a
said
certain
possibly
date?
He
tomorrow.
didn't, no, he did, okay,
Yeah, possibly tomorrow, very soon. So that's why we didn't want to hold this up,
yeah,
because once winter hits, then
Yeah.
it's gonna get tough.
Okay,
but I don't know why, Terry didn't really get into exact details, but it sounded, to him, his impression is that he may be the highest.
Oh, these guys are putting up, this Red Dog is putting up rails instead of the prongs or whatever they are, the points. So he's got the rails going across.
yes.
Isn't that what they all are?
No, I don't believe
Just
so.
it looks like it is, this is linear feet of snow guard.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what
That's
Terry's
what
been
we
talking
asked
to
for.
him, the
Yeah.
rails.
I thought we
Because we didn't want to
Yeah.
put penetrations through the roof, so they were gonna attach to the,
still got to hook the
Ridge.
rails on.
And then
Right,
the rails
they
usually
attached to
crimp.
the ridge.
yeah, that little ridge piece in between them.
Yep.
I don't know, it's just, to me, I mean, you guys do what you want to do, but I think it's an awful lot of money for what they,
I've personally used these guys before for a couple of my projects, and I mean, they're
which one's Red Dog?
Red Dog. I mean,
Yeah.
they're decent, I mean, you know,
I mean,
they didn't screw up.
On the money side of things, I know it's expensive, but look at the other side of it. I mean, we're already wrecking the pipes
Yeah,
on the garage, you know, with the ice slid down and then ripped off the vent pipe. So they didn't really, they kind of put it back together so it's functioning, but it's still all crooked and stuff. And you don't want to fix it because it's, once he does it again this month, it's going to rip it off, so.
So the rails are below the pipe though. I don't know how that's gonna work.
Well,
no, they're doing an extra section around.
yes, they were
the pipe.
doing to protect us at the garage doors, and they were doing another piece just above those pipes.
No.
Well, I would say that, I mean, we've been on this a little bit. If we're gonna do it, I would vote to award it tonight because of the time frame that we're looking at, as long as, you know, we feel they can get on that fairly rapid. Because we want to start the protection as soon as possible.
All right, you're talking about Red Dog?
I would, well, right now, they're the low bidder. We
Okay.
have a recommendation from somebody that's used them before, that's on the board, that feels that they're a competent contractor, so, I mean, that's enough for me, with what we have for info to move forward, as much as I'd like to try to make some sort of a motion for the third vendor. I really just don't feel that that's necessary.
All right, you want a motion for this? I make a motion that we retain Red Dogs for snow retention rails on the roof of the building. What's the amount?
7,000.
We're gonna do both, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I would do both.
8,000.
8,554.
For $8,554.
Okay, any discussion?
Under the assumption that Rockwell comes in higher.
Well,
Or
I
do
think
you
it's
wanna just go-
I think it's a very good assumption.
But I mean, if we put it in there,
If we're
then it just applies as long as they're cheaper, then we get our three
Okay.
quotes. And-
Yeah,
okay,
Yeah, okay.
sure. I second that motion.
okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
I'm with you, John. It does seem expensive, but.
Yeah.
Well, prevailing wages.
Well,
true. Yeah.
Plus, you know, the other thing is, if God forbid something happened and that fell on somebody or something.
That's a work rate. I mean,
Yes.
when the snow comes off the roof, you can't even drive out of the garage. You gotta plow your way out.
Right, and it's packed in there, like,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it's
so the next agenda item we have is a review, vote changes to districts, personnel, policies, and benefit.
You have Stan Tech.
Oh,
Review and vote Stantec proposal for Mass Ave water main.
One for each of you.
So this is the one that's been going on for pretty much a year now. This is, no, I got, that was for you. So this is the new latest and greatest. The first ones, it was, the other full board, had concerns with the pricing that was put in the agreement. So, I explained to him that the board had concerns with it. So he chose Whitman and Bingham as the surveying crew and to do the wetland delineation and the wetland work, that conservation stuff. And the price went down from $121,500 to $104,500.
Oh, Whitman and Bingham?
Because Whitman and Bingham was cheaper, so the price dropped. But
What was the scope of the work? Just the engineering or?
just they were going to do the surveying,
Yeah,
the site land survey, and then the wetlands delineation.
Is this replacing the main from Northville Road to in front of the primary school?
to Arbor Street?
Okay.
And then also we did a add alternate to, because we still have transite water main going past probably maybe 400 feet more.
Past Connell Drive.
Yes, past, yep. And there was an add alternate that we're gonna bid it and see what the pricing is and maybe do that as well.
and they're gonna do a land survey?
Yes, yep. They'll put all the
Gonna do all the drawing specifications.
drainage, the houses, telephone poles, everything to spec the location of the new main.
And put together a contract bid to go out to bid for the project.
Yeah, so this will be the whole thing. They do the design, go out to bid, bids come in, review the bids, and then they won't oversee the project day to day, but they'll oversee the project. We're gonna do the site inspections, and then at the end do a record drawing.
Just seems to me that land survey, houses, driveways, telephone poles,
Yeah, the drainage, the wetlands,
They gotta do a full set of plans.
well, I know that, but
That's,
and then a full spec sheet too.
yeah.
Like at the end, like an as-built type of thing, like this is.
At the end, they do the record drawing. Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Majority of this in the gutter?
This is part of the first set of plans that came out. It was a remove and replace the asbestos pipe. That's expensive.
we'll
So
find,
if at all possible, you want to relocate the new main. Stay away from the old one, and just leave it there when you're done.
we'll find that out after we give
So
them
we'll see what we can do.
$100,000.
I think with the road taking, I think we could stay off the road. The old main is actually quite a ways
Yeah,
off the
the old main
road,
is higher.
so I think most cases we could actually go in between the old main and the road. Stay in the spot. The only spot I don't think is right after Townsend Harbor.
Through that
You got
wet
that wet
area.
area, and that was an old gas station there, right on the corner. And there was a lot of stuff in the ground there, so I'd rather stay away from that.
And we
So the original,
we budgeted the
looked
money
at
for
doing
this.
Townsend Harbor, but that's the bad
That's the-
section.
yeah,
That's the
correct.
worst. But the thinking is, we helped, but we didn't solve the problem. So
No.
we go all the way to Arbor Street. Now we got double feeds. We got
Coming out.
Northfield and
Yep.
Mass Ave. So something happens on one of those sections, we'll still feed Hickory Hills
Yep.
and everything else. And
No, I've seen you guys out there plenty of
I'm
times.
tired. Everybody yells at us. I'm like, trust me,
I
we
look
don't
at-
want to be there either.
I look at I don't say anything. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
does not
we
look
don't
fun.
want to be there. So.
I'd like to be there.
And we budgeted for the funding for this
We
already?
budgeted 800,000 with the way the pricing is going. Well, I don't think that'll be.
I don't think.
Enough.
Yeah,
No
so
way.
Well, geez, if it's 100,000 on the engineering, I can't see.
Well, we do have that little spot, every annual meeting, we put 50,000 to a water main replacement project.
Yeah.
Typically, those are the ones that we do ourselves, like we did Maple Parkway, we did a part of 2A. So that's, we use that
Yeah.
money, so.
How many feet is that?
I think it was almost 3,000. Or 3,200, around 3,000.
I mean,
It says it on one of these.
Yeah.
I guess with materials going up, and I know PVC and pipe in general has skyrocketed.
Right, and they can't even get it.
Yeah, if you can even get it. So,
Bless you.
bless you.
Yeah, but if we don't keep going forward.
Oh, no, absolutely.
We're gonna
I'm just thinking
crack
that basically 700,000 is what's left out of this, isn't even in the ballpark, is my guess. So,
How are we gonna fund this then?
right,
We don't have the money right now anyway. We voted to borrow, take from available funds. So I would say at the annual meeting, because this is not gonna take place by the annual meeting, maybe we modify that.
Okay.
my question is, if we do have the survey done, does it have an expiration date? Like after 5 years, it's no good or something like that, you know? I'd hate to put the money into doing the survey and then realize that we didn't have the,
I don't think your plans will change, and I don't think there's a change in product. The only thing that I can say is that the price will go up,
right.
and if we go out to bid, we don't get that money back when we put it out to bid.
Right, I'm just saying, if we approved this spending right now, is it valid in 3 years?
I think it is.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I would like to make
'Cause
sure.
A lot of our jobs we did, like when we did the Whalen Road job.
Yep.
From Pratt Street down, we took the sewer plants
Okay,
and modified that. So we didn't do like a full intense survey. We just did a.
right, but this would be a full intent survey.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, the only-
So it would be good.
Right, no, I mean,
Maybe if we did 5 years, they would take that and say, let's confirm it. So you're still gonna pay a survey fee, but not like a full, you know.
Now, they run sewer down there. Can't we do that again, or no?
I don't know if we could on that. That was 20 years ago, I think. Was that like
Sewer down where?
2003?
Sewers runs down Mass Ave to the school, and then
It
all the
is.
way down.
It stops right at the-
And then it
doesn't
goes
stop.
all the way down.
It goes to Arbor Street, but then it's force main from there to the
Right,
trailer.
but I mean, there's plans. I know, I know where you're coming from. I'm just throwing it out there, because
If we could get 'em.
if I don't ask the question, somebody's gonna ask me the question. So, I don't think that the cost of doing this engineering work is gonna go down. So
Oh, I don't
I
either.
think that, you know, if we were gonna replace something in the future, this would be the next thing that we're gonna replace.
Oh, I'm
So,
sure there's,
Well, the materials and the labor is the only thing that's gonna go up.
Yep.
so, I guess that's just my only concern, make sure that.
Well, the
this-
survey's $12,000, so we're not talking huge money anyways.
Right, a lot of it is the actual plan, design,
Understood.
and the bidding documentation. And then this includes them sending it out.
We have that on.
This includes them sending this project out to bid for us, collecting the bids and coming back to us with recommendations.
Understood. So you're saying
This is
it-
bidding and award
So,
6,900.
even if you spend the 12,000, we have the specs on like what's involved.
No,
That would just be
that-
the survey. The other engineer does the full specs, on the
Right.
material spec sheet and.
Right. And a full set of plans as to
Right.
where things go.
Yeah,
It's
and then
it stayed in here, 2 full sets or whatever of plans, or 3 full set.
Right.
Two full sets to us, plus probably what goes out to bid.
Right.
As far as that wetlands delineation, it says cost 0.
Oh, the town conservation, they would delineate it themselves.
I mean, because there is that section right by Danny's and,
Yep.
Yes, because on the original one, because we complained about it, so I guess they talked to conservation.
Mhm.
Conservation, they would do that for
Okay.
us.
They planning on digging through that section where that swamp is, or boring?
I assume stay on the road, which still swamp underneath the road, but
Yeah,
or I always had the opinion of directional drilling through that section, but I don't know if it's true or not. But directional drilling, it's plastic pipe, the black polyethylene, and where there's gas spills there, people say that the gas can penetrate plastic pipe. I don't know if that's true. If it's true, then I don't really want to run plastic pipe through there.
we use
But,
plastic pipe for gas. Why would it go in and not come out?
that's talking about like gasoline, not natural gas.
Oh,
yeah, right.
Right.
Gasoline, yeah.
okay.
Because there was a town, I'm not sure which one, they actually had a gas odor in the water, and it had passed through a gas spill area, and it actually penetrated.
Needless to say, all that will get straightened out in this.
Oh yeah, engineers do exactly what we say.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and before then we go to bid, it's going to be put in front of you guys. We're
Yeah.
all going to go through it, and we all decide on what we want to do.
Okay,
And Gary's fully happy to come in and sit down and talk to you guys about this and whatever you wanna do, so.
okay. I'd accept the motion to allow the superintendent, because we don't have to sign this, I believe you can sign this, right?
Yeah, it's got my name on it.
Authorizing the superintendent to enter into a contract agreement with Stantec Engineering for such purpose as design, plan, and go out to bid for replacement of the water main along Mass Ave in the area of Townsend Harbor.
So moved.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye, sorry.
There you go, we're good.
I was thinking about a million different things.
Okay, now we can move on to review and vote changes to district's personnel policies and benefits.
So I just highlighted the couple changes that I made. Kind of following up from our last meeting, we had talked, I think, Woody, you talked about the annual, biannual superintendent's employee reviews. I added that in there. I did look back. I know in the past, there was confusion or there was question about vacation time, whether it was open to everybody, because it wasn't specified on this personal policies and benefits before. It just said employees. I can change it to whichever one you want. I thought you guys talked about it just being the full-time employees, but I could change it to all employees, whichever one you prefer if you want, part-time and full-time. And then on the next page, the life insurance changed. Back on the old one, what was your old policies? You guys just had Boston Mutual, right? Something for,
That was the old timers.
yeah, so
From like 40, 50 years ago.
we updated now, the board had already signed and agreed and everything, full-time employees after 1 year of service get whole life insurance paid by the district while employed in the amount of the employee's yearly salary. So that whole section is changed. It wasn't this way at all before. So that was new. And then, Fran and I had gone through and added just at the end, the water operators, new hire requirements, so that we have something stated.
Correct.
When you're hired, this is what's expected of you within 6 months. This is what's expected of you within 2 years. And then underneath, throughout employment, that you have to keep everything up to date. So, I mean, nothing major. It was just word, a few things added.
Clarification.
Yeah, just questions on,
Everybody that is hired signs this.
Right. Yeah.
So this one's just a little different.
it hadn't been updated in a while, especially with the life insurance changing. And then with talks of us at our, last
Yeah.
meeting about more specific things being a lot
Correct.
more defined when people are hired. So those were the few things that I changed. And then to kind of tie into that, I don't know if you guys wanted to, I put review and vote to leave it open to you guys. But the other thing that we had talked about was the other part of the insurance at our last meeting. And I don't know, I just realized that was in the executive session. Can I talk about all that if it's part of this? All right, well, we can at least, let's do this first, okay?
Yeah,
yep.
We'll do this, and then
So
we can
let's-
talk about if I need to modify and change, we can review and vote another change later.
Okay.
But as far as this, these were the few little things, so the only question I had was, the vacation, how you guys felt, because it wasn't specified. I know in the past, when I was part-time, the board, some of the old members of the board felt I shouldn't get vacation, but I know recently with our other new part-time person, it was stated that she should get vacation, so it just hasn't been very clear, so I wanted the board to decide what they wanted, whether it should be all employees, part-time, full-time.
Any comments?
Oh, I got a couple things. I'm just trying to get them in my head, right?
So if you want, John, I'm thinking maybe this is something we hold on to and not have to vote tonight. We can
Yeah,
look at
there's a-
each
there's a-
one of these
just-
things and just give you time to kind of review it.
Yeah, because the first thing I'm looking at is just for the hell of it, is the top, the beginning of definitions, employee and then full-time employee.
Yep,
An employee, any person working for the district, a minimum of 20 hours per week is an employee. All right, a full-time employee, any employee scheduled to work no less than 30 hours per week. Well, that's the same thing. I mean, is it 20 or is it 30?
No, a full-time employee works no less. They work more than 30 hours. So
Most of that's just tied to health insurance.
I mean,
Right.
I can change it if you guys.
No,
want.
I'm just
Those
trying
were
to get it
things-
straight.
I think someone like, is Jeff considered an employee because he's an on-call guy, or?
No,
No,
Okay.
because
he's
he's,
more contract.
yes. I mean, I get it, this was something that was already in there, so I can change the language if you guys would prefer to just have it stated. I'm wondering if they had employee in there, because I think in the past you guys used to hire seasonal and
Yes.
summertime help.
Yeah, summertime.
And that, so maybe it was just a broad term to have employee.
When we were short on staff, we'd have people we'd call in to come answer the phone, you know, so they.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't call them an employee, they still get paid.
Yeah,
So I would kind of push that more to a contract label.
so maybe that's why it's defined as just an employee. To consider them employee, they have to be here at least the 20 hours, where
Yeah.
it's if they're in 10 hours a week just to help fill something in. And then it was just defined as the full-time and part-time. Part-time is anybody less than 30 hours, full-time is anybody more than 30 hours.
Well, I guess, so it's part-time, someone less than 30, but more than 20?
Yeah. So maybe that could be
Right, I mean. that
in
could
the
be-
language.
Yeah.
Yes, yep,
that's what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah.
if we take these, you drop some notes on them and
I
then
want to hash it over.
have a discussion on the next, so we'll table this to the next
Yep.
meeting.
okay.
And I would say that if individually we have any comments on this, that we maybe forward those to Christie, and then that way she can,
Yeah.
she can
I
have
could do a new
different,
review.
Yep,
different options and, try to make sense for everybody on the document.
Do you guys want this for our meeting in 2 weeks, or are we tabling this for?
No, I think keep it fresh. You
Yeah.
guys
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Keep it fresh? I'd like
Our
to-
next meeting on the 29th, if you
Yep.
guys let me know before then,
Yep.
if there's some changes you want me to put in and present to you guys for that.
We have a meeting 29th of what, this year?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
This life,
Oh, this is next on here.
this life insurance thing, whole life insurance, have we got any idea what that's gonna cost?
We already have it.
We already have it.
We've had that for 20 years.
Yeah, they've already had it, and it's just a modified policy.
We had that when Donnie was here, so.
A full-time employee after 1 year of service will be given a whole life insurance policy paid by the district while employed in the amount of employee's yearly salary. So you've got a whole life insurance policy for what your salary is per year.
Pretty close. It's
Okay.
not exact.
And that's been in effect for how long? 20 years?
Since the
I
90s.
never remember that. I never heard of that before. I must have missed it.
Yeah, I remember Donnie was the superintendent back then, so. Donnie, Dave.
I don't see that as a large cost.
No.
It's not huge. I could look into it. I can tell you, we pay right now for Fran, myself, and Terry. I think are the only 3 on, because Greg and Ethan have not been a year yet. So I think it was us 3. I want to say 300, 400 a month.
For the three.
I can look into it to get you, excuse me, an exact number, because that's one of those things that comes out automatically every month, and I can't think of the bank reconciliations.
could get
Lisa's
a-
been doing it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can look
just
at
a-
it. Yep.
Is this going to include Lisa?
No, it's full-time
Full-time
employees.
employee.
So she's got to work 30 hours,
Right, which he doesn't.
which
She's
she
part-time.
doesn't.
Right.
All right.
All right,
Okay.
so postpone that till the 29th.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just a couple little things on here that just pop out to me.
Yep.
You know, Martin Luther King Day holiday, full-time, earn 1 week vacation after 6 months,
These,
2 weeks after 1 year.
These are all things that
these
have
are all,
been in effect.
they're all here and they're all standard, and they're all, I think that the holidays are set, like,
Yeah.
this is all.
Well, why are they even,
covered.
why are they even
Federal
on
holidays.
here then?
So,
What?
because
So
the
everybody
employees,
knows.
when we have a new employee, they have to
They
sign
have to go
this.
through
Right.
this and sign
If
it.
you look at the last page, it's like, you put in those extra things about getting the CDL.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
everything.
this-
Right.
This was
If you're
more,
If you're gonna work here, you're gonna sign this, so there's no
Yes.
There's
questions.
no question on what your
Yes.
responsibilities are and what
So,
what's
a lot-
expected of you.
A lot of the vacation days are, yeah, I don't think I'd take them off, but a lot of days we work anyway.
Okay, you
No,
guys
this isn't
okay? I
very-
mean, we can either go through this now and hash it out, or we can,
No, I wanna look it over, I wanna look it
I'd
over,
like to look it over myself too.
just to get an idea of what.
all right. Next agenda item is review and vote changes to district's rules and regulations. We're doing all sorts of stuff.
yep. So this is the full thing of rules and regulations. The only change on this one that we were looking at was the sprinkler connection fees.
And we had brought this up, might have been a couple months ago. Oh, we were worried about the Howard Street project where we didn't really implement them, because how would we implement something when the project's in the works? It'd be like we were attacking them.
Mhm.
So we didn't go at it, but I haven't heard a thing about Howard Street. We need to do our thing, so.
Okay.
Right.
So anyway, the connection fees were what's listed in the red, the connection fees were half of that. So those are doubled. Connection fees for fire protection have not changed since I've been here. The numbers there,
Okay.
so I've been here 36 years and those numbers have never changed.
Okay.
Okay,
So I think it's time for a change. And I'm not saying those numbers are high, low, but I think they're fair numbers.
have we looked at these numbers comparable to other communities and what they're
No,
charging? So we don't
I
know.
didn't really care what the other people charge. I mean, fire protection costs us a lot of money on main breaks.
They slam that thing shut, break them, yeah.
They cause problems. So and if these numbers are, they're not too high, if anything, they're still too low. So I would say this is general a good step anyway.
Okay, and you brought up the current project that, had the most current project we've been under review. How are these rates gonna affect any projects that are on the books for right now? And
There is
not make us come under fire?
There is one project that's coming up very quickly, and I'm not sure it's on the agenda. Bring it up in public comments anyway. I made them aware what the new fee would be.
Okay. But what about anybody that has a project that they've already, to play both sides of it?
We don't have any.
If he,
Yeah.
but
We have
if,
nothing in the works.
Yeah, that lettuce factory thing got.
Yep,
shut
it's
down.
done.
but so even Howard Street though, I mean, that's not a dead thing, he's already applied.
But nothing has actually been
Correct, yeah,
presented
that's,
to us,
that's,
so it's not like what he presented, now it changes
Right.
because of it.
he doesn't have
this
a
is
building
still-
permit and he doesn't have anything in, so.
Okay.
It wouldn't,
I would say anybody that had a building permit or something already in that was,
correct, I would agree with that. If you've already been in the process and all of a sudden at the end, you double it, but if no one's, I'm just kind of thinking of a project in town that this would apply to right now, and I can't, I mean,
Keys.
There ain't any.
oh,
That's happening like in a month or two.
They're
And
down
I didn't
there
know
today.
this was on the books before.
Surveying.
Yes.
They were surveying today
So-
down there.
The only one of these I question is the very first one for the no fee. You guys can give your thoughts on that. I mean, even though the small buildings, they cause our pipes to break as much as,
no, I think there should be a fee for that.
I mean, we can.
So do I. There's a fee for everything in this world.
So, I mean,
what about the expansion of the line on Lemons to Shirley Road? Are these people aware, when you outlay, did they already know that what our fees were? Did they ask and talk about our fees, where they were gonna be hooking up to town
Yeah, I
water?
didn't talk to any of those guys.
So I mean, I don't know if you tell them one thing and then, next thing you know, we're raising our fees.
Right.
I'm just concerned about anything that you've currently may have discussed with people that are, they've already made plans based on our current structure.
All right.
Which
Yeah,
project
the only,
we talking
Columbus to Shirley Road, the extension of the water main that they were gonna do down there. You know, I mean, we're
okay.
at that, now
Yep.
you're doubling their fee when they've already come to us at a time when the fee was less.
Yes, true. I mean, they haven't put the main in, but we did, I don't know if we discussed what the actual fees were. Most of our discussions were the design of the system.
Yeah, so I mean, I think as long as we have the right to review and we can abate any fee we deem, if somebody comes back to us with enough of an argument where we raise the fees, we can always abate the fee back to the original fee if we wanted to. I just wanted to bring those up to make sure that, you know, if people do have a grievance with that they have a means. I just think it's tough to, you know,
Or if you're in the planning stage of things.
you're in a planning
like, well,
stage,
just
you're
go
planning
for it.
you've already planned your budgetary number for your sprinkler connection fees, and then it just got doubled. So. So I don't have a problem with raising the fees. I understand your thought process on what it costs us. I don't know if it's worth anybody else on the board to have a comparison to another community or not, or whether we just,
I kind of feel like it should be 0 to 20,000 square feet, should be the
That's what I'm at.
4,000. I think you should skip that
And I still
first.
think that's cheap.
yeah, okay. What's the trigger for sprinkler connection?
So 7,500
Is it,
they have to.
yeah, so,
So that's why it was the intent.
so I agree with
Yeah.
you, Matt, as far as go 0 to
0 to
20,000.
Right, yeah, because the first one, they're not gonna put it in.
They're not gonna put it in anyway unless, yeah,
0 to 20,000 being the first fee would be 0 to $24,000.
Correct, yeah, so
Okay.
know that first line, just, make
Okay.
it.
Yeah, and the quarterly fee is $50 for a fire protection system. That has not changed since I've been here. That's not in here, that wasn't part of the discussion, but something to consider. Because we have many main breaks because of these things. And the new sprinkler form I have, when they sign up for a sprinkler, the maximum impact to the system can be 10 PSI. And I've been to plenty of them when they blew up the main every time they tested it. And we stuck one of those tattletale gauges on the hydrant, so when the hydrant gets slammed, the gauge stays at the highest pressure. The gauge went to 200, it was way past 200. So, and then the main blew up, and then it's because our main's junk. I'm like, no, any main would have blown up, you know, so I'm not a fan. A lot of the newer fire protection systems, very little impact to the system. So if they design them correctly, they're good. A lot of the older ones, they didn't take the time to do it correctly. So, but anyway, those fees I think are relatively cheap to impacts. You know, we probably one fire protection system in town, we probably already spent probably $100,000 on ourselves repairing it. You see broken mains on Pleasant Street, I can tell you who did it.
Yeah, I remember that, but I can't remember who did it. So,
okay. Any more discussion on this?
No.
Any motions on this?
Prove it.
Okay,
so that's the only one you're changing then?
Yeah, we'll change.
That's it in the rules and
Okay.
regs for right
Yeah.
now.
so I got a motion to approve the new rates for sprinkler connection fees with the change of 0 to 20,000 to $4,000, and there'll be a connection fee for all connections. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Last one, I promise.
A vote. Review and vote district's miscellaneous fee schedule.
Yep, so this basically now ties into the sprinkler connection fees on the bottom. You guys voted on that, I can approve that, I can change that. So the only other change we're adding into this is that Lisa and I have been finding, we've been getting a lot of redeposited checks. And all we've ever had set right now is a $30 fee for a returned check. And we're starting to find that the bank is actually taking some checks and redepositing them, and they're clearing,
Yeah.
second time around.
But
But we're getting a fee of $7.50 for them to redeposit that check.
Okay, I understand what you're saying.
And that, I don't believe, has ever been dictated to then put that fee onto the customer. It's only been set that if that check comes back uncleared, non-sufficient funds, whatever that is, we charge the $30. But we're starting to see that it's adding up. The $7.50 of redeposit fee is adding up. So we were thinking of adding that new $10 redeposit fee onto it.
That would make sense.
That's the only change on this one, other than the sprinkler fees, which you guys already.
Well, we know those checks are gonna be redeposited. Why don't we just make it $30 return check fee instead of 30 and 10?
Well, because when a check goes to the bank, if for some reason it doesn't clear the first time and they try to redeposit it,
Right,
our
that's-
bank only charges us $7.50.
Oh,
If then the second time they redeposited it, or even the first time it comes back, nope, it's bounced, it's not
Right.
clearing, we get a $20 fee.
Right.
So it's different fees depending on how it comes back. So that's why we just didn't feel it fair if it's a $7 fee from our bank just to redeposit it.
Right.
Didn't really seem right to charge them $30. We thought $10 was
Because
kind
we
of
want to
more.
redeposit it because we want to hope the money
Yeah,
goes in.
and honestly, lately, a lot of them have.
Yeah.
But we've been getting the $7.50 fee. So for $2.50, that
Covers the
covers
administration.
us
yeah.
on the administrative side of it. Not, I just felt $30 was a little high.
Sure.
Versus the $7.50. So that's why I thought breaking it down from the return check fee to a redeposit fee.
I feel that makes sense.
We thought so too, that's what we.
Oh, good job. You guys did
But
great.
I can't make the new
Yep.
fee without you guys
Yep.
saying so, so.
You guys can take that home too.
Anybody want to accept, take a motion on this one?
so the ones we changed was a connection fee from 0 to
We're
20,000.
just doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys already
We already
voted
did
on that bottom
Okay,
part, but
yeah.
this just happened to be
And
what our
then
miscellaneous.
now the,
The $10 redeposit.
deposit.
That's the only changes.
Yeah.
yeah, I go for that. That'll work. So
Okay.
what might, you want a motion?
So we have a motion, I guess. Is that what that
Yes.
was, John? A motion
what that
to
was.
accept the new, the rates and the fee schedule for the district?
Right.
As of December 14th,
Right.
2021.
You got it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I was worried about not knowing the lingo, but apparently you don't need to.
You'll get
Well,
used to it.
we understand we have a modified Robin.
You know
John's
what
got
I
his own
say?
lingo.
I appreciate you helping me out there, friend, but apparently.
You know what I say? We're not running New York City.
No.
This is a small hick town community, and
geez.
everybody
Here we go.
understands us.
Call this all Hicks.
No, not all
We're
of
gonna
us.
be on the Facebook Independent Discussion Board page. Okay, Commissioner Superintendent's additions.
All I have is they submitted the plans, I just saw them, beginning of the week for the warehouse project on Leominster Shirley Road. It's 372,000 square feet, so the original plans that I saw had the water line coming in on the east side, the Shirley side of the project, going in and all the way around the whole building with 5 fire hydrants, and the domestic and the fire protection line for the fire protection of the building was coming in at the very left corner, the west side corner. So I didn't like that because that's a long dead end line for the domestic, because we're responsible for the water all over, no matter where it is. We're responsible for the water quality. So I asked if we could do 2 taps, feed both ways, and that was rejected. So then we just moved the tap to the other side. So it's going to come in on the left, the west side. First tap is the domestic, and the feed for the fire protection that's going to loop around to the last hydrant. There is one connection proposed. There's discussion of possible tenants, so they may end up doing 3 connections. They're in discussion now. Do they bring in a bigger line to feed the 3 And the thinking is, which I think is a good thinking, is the cost to run a line 1,000 feet to the other tenant, it's gonna cost more to do that than it would be just do another tap and pay a separate connection fee.
Right.
So this is where it's at, but right now it's just one connection. It only shows a 1-inch connection for a domestic line, so I'm not sure what they have for.
What size pipe?
Yeah, besides the main.
The 8-inch main all the way around the project. So they're gonna tie in at the street, they asked for a tap, they wanna do a tap and sleeve valve. I pushed them to a T, a triple gate, so we'll have T and 3 valves, and they didn't, they were okay with
Who
that.
rejected your proposal?
Through Hannigan. Hannigan was the one I was talking to. Well, I mean, it would be a pretty big expense to do a whole nother tap. Across the
Is
road.
that better for us? If it's better for us,
It doesn't really help us in any way. It doesn't hurt us in any way. I mean, the triple gate is good because then we can isolate better. You know, we can always have a feed if we had to. We could feed from the well or whatever, or from the system by, let's say, future projects come in, which they will. It's 300 acres for sale there. I don't see the benefit of the two.
I thought this was going on Lafarge's side.
It is 300 acres on the other side of the street.
So they got the 300 acres across the street too?
That's for sale.
Oh. So why are we doing things that we don't agree on, that not gonna be good for us, when we should be doing what's best for us, not for them?
Well, they have their fire protection needs,
Yeah.
and this 8-inch line is fills their needs. So
Yeah.
for them to do another tap and really doesn't help us. It was, I don't know, just.
You were just thinking to keep the flow.
To keep the flow. I understand what you're saying. I don't think it's not a huge benefit. It'd be nice, but it's not. I
Yeah.
can see from their end of things like, no, that's a whole
Yeah.
separate, it's not. I know what you're thinking, but
Yeah.
it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not. I mean, if it was a huge thing, I'd
Exactly,
push
right,
it
yeah.
forward.
Couple quick questions. This is you said on the Lafarge side or on the
Correct.
opposite side?
On Lafarge side.
Okay.
It's right after the pond. You know that little spot when you drive down there, you got that little
Yeah.
paved area?
Yeah.
Right there.
Right there,
That's
okay.
the driveway coming in.
So none of this is, I mean, it's not anywhere near, it's near the well, but not near the well.
It's not in the zone 2, it's across the street. Yeah. Zone
Okay.
2 and all the recharge for that well, it's
The other way.
Lancaster.
Okay. But if they ever develop on the other side, we may want to be concerned with what they're going to develop in warehouse.
Yes.
If that's the
I mean, if
case.
it's all warehouses, that's perfect. There's no,
Well, what they're going to put in a warehouse.
that's true.
Yeah.
What's going in there? Just a warehouse for Amazon, or who knows?
Warehouse.
Yep, don't know any of that.
Okay. Mr. Woodward, do you have anything or you have anything else, Fran?
Oh, Devon's.
Yes.
There's the waterworks, they do a gathering at Devon's Common Center, and usually we invite people if they wanna go.
And we're asking because we have to pay for the meal. It is Friday, January, I don't know, 14th, 11:30. So we have to pay for the meal, chicken or steak. And let me know what you want. You guys.
Sometimes John gone a couple times.
Yep.
you know.
I'm probably not going to be around for that.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Where you going now?
What's going on?
Back to
Yeah.
Alaska?
Yeah. Yep.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
I like the party.
If you can,
I'll let you know. I got
within the next week or so, let me know.
Yep.
Because I just cut the check and let them know how many. And,
Yeah, I'll let you know too.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a meeting and, all the water, every water department in the whole central Mass.
Shows up?
Big old water party.
It
Yeah.
is. It is
Yeah.
actually.
They do make it a meeting though. They call
Yeah.
talk about.
Yeah, it's a meeting.
Yeah.
All right, I got one last question. Does anybody know what happened to the lettuce factory down here? Why they
Yeah.
moved out of town?
It wasn't, I looked into that a little bit more today and they had another site. It had nothing to do with anything from the town's perspective or from our perspective. They had another site that was more feasible.
And the site was already built.
Yeah, it was pre-existing site.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
it was just cheaper for them to
Yeah.
go to that.
No.
On a
That
on a
open?
positive note, I mean,
By
they,
Shirley. Is that the one on,
No, they went to
They went to
New Hampshire.
Didn't they?
They went to
Oh,
New
they did?
Hampshire,
Yeah.
yes.
oh, I thought they went,
No, that's a
No,
different company.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so I did look into that
That the
when
one
you,
on
when you
Walker
asked me
Road?
about it.
Yeah, Walker Road is
Yeah.
that one down there, okay.
I did get a positive comment. I mean, they thought that the process through the town and our process was a good one to go through. Nothing negative about that. Anything else, Fran?
Nope.
Matt, do you have anything?
I'm good.
John, do you have anything?
No,
I will probably not be here on the 29th, so I can either discuss my concerns on the personnel policies with Christie and she can bring them to the meeting, or whether it's so close to New Year's, it's up to you gentlemen, whether you want to get together or not. Whether we want to postpone that meeting, that's up to you. I wanted to bring that up.
I just have to post the meeting by Monday, so we just have to make a decision
I mean-
by that Monday before.
If postponing it, does it throw the balance off on anything else? or
The
just-
only thing that would be nice is,
The warrant?
at least for you guys to come in and sign warrants.
Yeah.
yeah.
Which
that's-
is fine, if you guys can do, which it doesn't have to be at 4 o'clock,
Correct,
you guys
we
can
can- I
come
can
in and
just
sign, just sign warrants. Other than that, cause you're pushing other stuff off till the end of January, February.
Yes, so the RFP for the cellular on the Chase Road tank was originally planned for the 29th, and it's not going into the central register till next week, so we're gonna push the RFP to the next commissioners meeting in February, which is the February 9th. So February 9th we'll do the RFP.
And we
To
do
open
have,
bids.
right.
for that,
Open-
yes,
open-
to
and we do
open
have,
bids.
we do have we still
Yeah,
have
we still have two
meetings,
January
two
ones.
January meetings.
So I don't think we have anything. So I
Yeah,
could just,
it's fine.
if you guys want to postpone it until the
Okay, then I'll
January
swing
12th,
by and sign
and then
that.
just
Okay.
sign warrants, okay?
Yeah, unless, we'll see if something's going on, we have to, then we'll.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take that as a motion to cancel the next meeting and
Okay.
and then, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Have we given any thought to Rolling Acres? No, kind of back.
No, I mean, I would love to do it. We actually talked about it a little bit, about, how we're gonna do it, and we talked about some of Mass Ave doing the new T and stuff at the Northfield Road, kind of start the beginning part of that project. So my thing was we do the T for Northfield Road, and then at the same time, either hire another crew to go dig and cut in a valve near the hydrant, so we could do a temporary line. So while this project's going, we can feed a line to that hydrant, temporary feed to Hickory Hills area. Anyway, so we were talking about, but at Rolling A's, we talked about two phases, going first phase to here, and second phase to top section. So we were talking about stuff. Maybe
Yeah,
next year we could. We have the money. We put that 50,000.
Correct,
So we
yeah.
got the money to do it.
yeah. we
Now
plan
it was
on-
pretty open to whatever's needed for the water main project to do a water main. So it could be we rent an excavator and
Yeah,
that's what we did last time. We rent an excavator.
is that when you did Maple Parkway or whatever?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how we did it. Yeah.
How'd that go? I mean,
It went good. Yeah. I mean, it went kind of some days were a little slow
right.
because we're fixing something over here,
sure.
over
But
here.
at least Maple Park a dead end, and I'm thinking the same thing with Rolling Acres. I mean, there's not a lot of traffic there.
Right.
That's the nicest thing,
All right.
Okay, that's all I have. Christie, do you have anything to add?
That's it.
Okay. Do we have any comment from the public?
No.
Great. Well, we're gonna adjourn our regular meeting to go into executive session to conduct contract negotiations with non-union personnel. So this meeting is adjourned.